Hey, welcome back everyone. We are now in the final days of February of 2022, and as we get closer to the official release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, a lot of Star Wars fans around the world are getting prepared for the marketing run of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, which, by the way, all begins in mid to late March. That's really going to unveil a lot of new posters, promo images, the official trailer for the Kenobi series coming next month. I mean, there's a lot happening right now behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm and Disney, preparing for the marketing run of the Kenobi show. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So it's even all the more exciting right now is that we are not only getting closer to the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, but also to The Mandalorian Season 3, which, by the way, is going to wrap filming by the end of March, and they're going to head into post-production until the holiday season of 2022 this year. And of course, we already know that everything related to the mandoverse is ever evolving. It's just going to keep on growing and growing. New and more spin-offs that are going to actually come to life from that actual TV show. So there's a lot at work by John, George, and Dave as we speak, and we have a lot of other projects that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration. So with that being said, one thing that a lot of Star Wars fans have been very intrigued about is exactly what's going on with the Ahsoka Tano show. Now, we already know that numerous sets have already been built in preparation for the actual first batch of scenes to be filmed for the Ahsoka show in the first week of April, which, by the way, is really not all that far away. Rosario Dawson is already training for her role as Ahsoka Tano, to bring her back in action and to really kind of experiment with all these different and new stunts. Now, with that being said, however, what's even all the more exciting has everything to do with exactly what Rosario Dawson had to say about her experience over at Lucasfilm and what she also had to say about Kathleen Kennedy. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now focused on the Ahsoka series that is set to begin filming in April by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, Bob Chapek is getting ready to announce a host of new Star Wars TV shows at this year's celebration that takes place in May. However, it's noted that in a recent interview with actress Rosario Dawson, she went on to talk about the Ahsoka series, but also the challenges and troubles on set for the past TV shows of Star Wars that she has actually worked on. Rosario Dawson went on to state that we had so much potential for The Mandalorian Season 1. I mean, don't get me wrong, John did a beautiful job at that point that it really made me feel very emotional. It brought me to actual tears because it really brought me back to those feelings of watching A New Hope. But one thing I believe that the fans should know is that we had so much planned for Season 1, including myself getting involved in the first season toward the end. John wanted to insert all of these major cameos, such as myself as Ahsoka, and was even going to throw in Boba Fett and even Luke Skywalker, as well as some form of flashbacks to Jabba the Hutt. All of these cameos were moving forward for a while in the script until Kathleen Kennedy decided that it wasn't for her at the time when developing the first live-action series. She felt that this just wasn't going to work out by inserting these big-name cameos in the show. Now, let me just stop right there for 1 second of what Rosario is saying, is that this basically translates to Kathleen Kennedy having a problem with what the fans really love and enjoy, and this actually does connect to the very old rumors, you guys may recall, of Jabba the Hutt coming in The Mandalorian Season 1. I mean, it wasn't really all that talked about that much, but there was a lot of development on Jabba the Hutt being placed into The Mandalorian Season 1, and now we can kind of see how they kind of, tweaked that to just being his legacy being explored, not necessarily him as a cameo anymore. And it's still very possible that we could see him Mando Season 3, but we haven't heard anything about that in the slightest, so I think that it's safe to say that they are shying away from Jabba the Hutt for the time being, for saving him in other Star Wars shows, which, by the way, are going to revolve around that pre-Return of the Jedi era, so be prepared for that as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The thing about Rosario Dawson is that she also seems like a very passionate Star Wars fan. I mean, at the end of the day, she did watch the originals when she was growing up. She did watch the prequels when she was, examining all of the Star Wars movies and such, when she was looking at everything related to working on the character of Ahsoka Tano, trying to get all the characters, in her mind, trying to learn more about that. But generally speaking, at least, you know, she's a fan at heart, to a degree. If you look at a writer like Leslye Headland, she doesn't care about Star Wars at all. And, you know, I do apologize for bringing her up again, but Leslye Headland is a prime example of somebody that was hired, that has no intention of really even paying attention to the fans and being passionate about them. But moving on from this, alright, she goes on to say that, believe it or not, I had all my scenes planned out by John and Dave. I wasn't in it much, but I was going to be scattered across the entire season as opposed to one episode. Kathleen Kennedy felt at the time that fans were not actually ready for the return of Luke Skywalker for a character like me coming into live-action form. Kennedy believed that introducing those characters would have harmed the Star Wars brand, which I never understood. I actually remember it like it was yesterday that Favreau felt so let down and disappointed that Kathleen Kennedy decided to not go through with any cameos, nor did she agree to even let Favreau use references of Luke Skywalker or even Ahsoka Tano. That was Favreau's next step after she shot down the cameos. It is what he wanted to insert was, of course, a lot of references of Skywalker, of me, and of course of even Boba Fett to carry on their legacy at minimum. This was also something that Kennedy refused. I still believe that John did a great job even without our cameos and or references, but yes, this was all planned out from the very beginning, and I too was upset I didn't get to jump on set earlier than expected and had to wait quite a while until we finished post-production for Season 1 at the time to begin my training for Season 2. So what we have in store now for Ahsoka and Mando Season 3, I believe, is going to make fans' heads spin. I'm so happy to be a part of all of this and how I actually have the ability to make so many people very happy and tearing up with these new shows and features. It's just such a thrill. So, the thing about Rosario Dawson, you can see that she's connected to the fans. You know, she might not be the biggest Star Wars fan of all, but she's a fan. And she knows what she's talking about when it comes to the original trilogy at minimum. Now, when you look at everything related to everybody getting involved with the Ahsoka series, all the different creators, I'm not just talking about John and Dave, I'm talking about how we have a lot of great editors on board, a lot of great concept artists on board, a lot of visual artists getting involved with the show. It's actually described to be the most visually impressive Star Wars series in history for now. You know, of course, for the time being, in what's in the roadmap currently, because they will be using this revolutionary way of filming the series and using that brand new technology that they do have. And obviously, I think that a lot of that has something to do with the World Between Worlds, because we do know that that is coming back into live action form this time around by George, John, and Dave, so be prepared for that as well. So, Ahsoka Tano, you know, obviously is a beloved character, so is Luke, so is Boba. The fact that they were meant to be in Season 1 and Kathleen Kennedy shot that down, once again, it's a prime example that Kathleen Kennedy just does not either understand Star Wars, or she's just doing all of this on purpose, you know. Choose your, you know, choice there. I don't really know. It's really hard to say exactly where Kathleen Kennedy's mind is at. I would have to go that she's doing this on purpose. It really does come off like that. But again, you know, obviously a lot of fans are already enjoying what George, John, and Dave are doing now with the Mandoverse, and we can see the transparency. We can see that they really are doing everything that they can to really turn things around. So, like I say, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know through all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.